you can see that there's a fetishization of men, older men particularly, but bald-headed men with beards, a certain type of man on YouTube and the red pill spaces that always look the same.
So how come we're not talking about these women? I'm asking Shannon.
Oh, my thing is, and I say this very stiffly, why wouldn't a woman get paid off the Sims at this point? Like, because here's my thing. I don't like, again, if people want to end Smex work, the ones who's buying it and promoting it and giving them a job and making them rich are the men. So again, no matter how we say it, I don't have to feed into lustful desires. I'm married and I can have self-control. If you get the men to have self-control, it shouldn't matter if she putting her cheeks on the internet. She don't have no money because you know what? The men not paying for it.
Backstory. So Lil Tay claims she made 1 million hours after launching OnlyFans account on her 18th birthday. So the influencer launched a profile on an adult entertainment site using content she claimed she was taking at 12:01 a.m. on a recent birthday, right? Lil Tay, she opened up her OnlyFans account shortly after she turned 18 on July 29th. The internet personality, whose real name is Claire, claimed the OnlyFans content was captured 12:01, 18th birthday, Sunday, August 3rd. Showed her 5.8 million Instagram followers, a screenshot of her income from the adult entertainment site just 3 hours after going live. Her earnings allegedly total over 1 million, about half of which comes from the subscribers per Tay's post. We broke the effing out of OnlyFans record, the content creator wrote in that caption. So this is her right here. She just turned 18, looks like on the 29th, and she made 1 million. She made 1 million already. Tay became a online phenomenon at the age of 9 years old. So she's been in the light since the age of 9. It looks like Instagram's going viral. She rose to fame as a rapper in 2018, often garnering attention with sensationalized behavior like yelling, showing off her designer purchases, so forth. So she's been around since the age of 9. So people have been watching her. But when she went to OnlyFans at the age of 18, she made 1 million. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip. This is what Shannon had to say.
This is why I say men are the problem, bro. Men will always be the problem. They nasty, dog. Men are nasty. Lil Tay just turned 18. She hops on OF and makes $1 million within hours of joining. So what men are sitting around waiting on minors to become legal by the law? The only thing that is stopping men from sleeping with children is the damn law. That is a sick mind. What can you get out of an 18-year-old? This why when y'all be calling me a panderer or a simp, bro, I'ma stay calling out the hearts of men. I'm never gonna change. It ain't gonna never be no switch up. Men are the majority of the problem in the world. Point blank, period. You nasty men. But women be breaking our hearts. Shut up.
So that's what Shannon had to say about Lil Tay. She, I guess,
Point blank period.
okay. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up to you, man, just so you can elaborate. I know it's a short clip, but just in case you want to add some additional context so we can paint the picture a little bit better. Yeah, you, Shannon.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah. Like, historically, you can address this from a religious lens. You can address this from a historical lens. You want to address this from a statistical lens. Men do the most harm. Men do the most violence. I believe the key to life, to fix all the problems in the world, get the men in order, everything will be straight. So I said what I said. It, like, we could talk about the women who do these nasty things. It's never gonna be on the same scale as men. We could talk about women who commit crime. It's never gonna be on the numbers. Never gonna match up to the men. So again, I'm gonna start with the ones that's doing the most harm, and that's what I'm saying. It probably was some women over there looking at Lil Tay, ready for her to show some little cleavage or something like that. But we know that was mostly probably, and you could even say white T men, because they the most convicted of CP. And I'm not gonna say that word on here because it's YouTube. But if you child corn. All right, child corn. So we could even say YT man, right? But historically, the problem has mostly been men, and I think in order to fix the problems in the world, get the men in order, everything will be straight. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I'm gonna go to you, Trev. How you looking at this whole Lil Tay situation and what controversial Shannon had to say about it?
Um, well, I do agree that there should be no grown ass men that are interested in any content for that matter by Lil Tay, right? I mean, I'm familiar with the story. I know she's a rival with the Cash Me Outside girl and everything, and she's been kind of following her trend, including doing the OnlyFans on her 18th birthday. Now, the only problem with it is she does have a very young fan base, and there's not really anything to substantiate who those users are. So we don't know. We could speculate, but we don't know if this were 17, 18-year-old boys who it might not be so weird for, right? So we don't know. I would gather that there were probably some men who were sick enough to go ahead and look at a a young lady like that, and I don't see the point in it. But that it is what it is. But I mean, before we go in on it, I think we should have something to substantiate that. We don't, because we really honestly don't know. We don't know if it was her fan base that was doing it at all, right? And again, we probably do likely have some grown ass men looking at that, and I don't agree with it. It's not my cup of tea. Is it legal? Yes. And those are society's standards, right? So whether I agree with it doesn't matter. Society has set the standard to say 18 is legal, so people are going that. If they made it lower than that, would they do that? I don't know, right? We really don't know. Some places our age is not considered to be legal. They might go lower than that. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. Am I the one to judge to say who should be and who should not be with a certain age group? We all came up with arbitrary numbers. If we were really going to say that a woman should be completely developed, then we really shouldn't go below 25, right? If you want to make the frontal cortex argument, then we should wait until a woman is 25 years old until she could even come out with an OnlyFans. So there's a lot of different angles to go with this, but it's difficult to, if you don't have any substantiating evidence, to see who's doing what.
Okay. You want to respond? Shannon, you good?
Oh, I mean, if we look at the bad baddie situation, or baby, however you say that girl's name, I think we have seen older men fetishizing young girls. Matter of fact, I'll even put this on black men and what we say in our conversations. These older women come with baggage. I don't like them below a certain age. So you got to get them while they're young. So I think there's, based on our own community of men and what we say, you can see that there's a fetishization of men, older men particularly, but bald-headed men with beards, a certain type of man on YouTube in the red pill spaces that always look the same, that are saying these type of dumb arguments and things of that nature, where they're always saying, let me, I don't, these women are they're used up by the age 35. You got to get them at 28. Oh, I want some young Shannon Sharp dumb behind. I mean, we have historical information that can contextualize how men have viewed young women. So I think the evidence is right there in front of us, and we can see the matter of fact, if you want to take it back to the family, don't let uncle come over. Why?
But now
How
we're
many
talking
women
about underage. Now we're talking about underage now. So we're gonna talk about underage, or we're gonna talk about over 18.
My bad. You're right. So when it comes to the 18-year-old argument, legal versus morality, I think you can go a different route with that. But all I'm saying is that when it comes to youth, that has been something that has been fetishized by men. of all different races, not just black, not just white tea, but it has been something that has been fetishized, wanting something younger because they haven't been touched. And like I said, white tea men are still the most convicted when it comes to child porn. So I think it's safe to say that you do have some men waiting around for, or just using the law argument, waiting around for a girl to reach legal age, because if the legal age was 13, I'll leave that alone. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Go ahead, Push. Let me get you involved in this conversation. What you thinking?
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, as you guys were talking, I kind of pulled up some study that looked at to kind of support what he's saying, because there's a study that had over 1,000 participants, and it talked about how 99% of those participants felt that there was some level of grooming. So those predators or perpetrators, they may not have taken that full advantage of that member or that kid at the time, but they were grooming them at a later age. And some of the things that I was looking at, it was like grooming for trusting into the member or the friend or the family member. One thing, 68% said that they were groomed to be trusting and understanding. And then another 61% said they had low self-esteem, but the member that was grooming them made them feel good about themselves. So I can see what he's saying as being, some factual information to it. But we did point out earlier that, we don't know what the demographics are of the people that help her get to $1 million, but I can see that there's some factual information behind that. So I support both of what they're saying here.
Go ahead, Ty.
I think it's a lot to unpack here, right? I agree with controversial Shannon to a certain extent, because if we think about it, the oldest profession, right, is women using their body to gain money, and men have always paid for it. That's just the reality of the situation. So is it an issue that now that she's 18, she decided to monopolize that industry and gain money from it? We could argue both ways. Yes, it's not a great look. She might regret it in the future. It might be a lot of old men that are attracted to her and waiting in line to get that, look. But that's not new information, right? Like controversial Shannon was saying, we talk about this all the time. The societal age limit for a woman, right, when she's in her prime is between 18 and 25. So we're never basing it off of when a woman is actually mature enough to make decisions for herself. We base it off of when she can be groomed. When you get married, you have a groom. Like it's supposed to be the norm thing. And if we look historically, people went younger and younger marrying people, right? To make sure that they were getting someone who was necessarily pure or exactly what they wanted them to be. So is this surprising? Not at all. Do I fault the man for doing that? Honestly, no, because it's normal now, right? It's become a part of our everyday society. That's what you expect. She's legal, so now we can't say anything about it. But if it was a few years younger, then we could. And that's depending on the state, because in certain states, you're legal at 16. So, I mean, it's even in our family history where our grandparents were getting married to old men and they were teenagers, right? It was benefits to it for the woman and for the man as well. So like I stated, to a certain degree, I do agree that it's nasty on the outside looking in. It makes you think about their mindset and what they were actually thinking before they decided to do this. But whether or not we have the statistics, I'm pretty sure a large group of those men were grown, probably have children that girl's age.
Right.
But can we fault them, right? Because it's so normal. It happens all the time. That's all we talk about on these podcasts, is that if you're not 18 to 25 and already married and locked down, then you a lost cause. Because ain't nobody looking for you. OF or not. So.
Go ahead.
So I think controversial Shannon's overall point seemed to be because she just turned 18 and now all of a sudden, she got all of this all the followers from the, can I say OnlyFans? OF site. So it's like, okay, dang, it's only been a few hours and she already got men wanting her. Like, I understand that. And what Ty was saying, I agree with that too. The only thing I want to say is that, like, how come we're not talking about her putting herself on the OF site? Because if these women weren't putting themselves out there, then these men wouldn't be gravitating to it. So since she started it, right? I'm just being real basic. She started it. She wants to be seen. She wants the attention from any type of man. If she was like afraid of old men that you're talking about, bald and beard and all that stuff, then she wouldn't put herself out there like that. I don't think that girl or other women that do this care. So how come we're not talking about these women? I'm asking Shannon.
Oh, my thing is, and I say this very stiffly, why wouldn't a woman get paid off the simps at this point? Like, because here's my thing. I don't like, again, if people want to end Smex work, the ones who's buying it and promoting it and giving them a job and making them rich are the men. So again, no matter how we say it, I don't have to feed into lustful desires. I'm married and I can have self-control. If you get the men to have self-control, it shouldn't matter if she putting her cheeks on the internet. She don't have no money because you know what? The men not paying for it. She wouldn't have a job. She wouldn't have a source of income. So again, men, if men had more self-control and weren't so lustful, she wouldn't be able to make $1 million overnight or 2 million like this. That's all I'm saying. So no matter how we spin it, if men keep paying for it, you are promoting set bad behavior. So I don't know what do I hold the women accountable to? Why would you get married? Why wouldn't you go get paid for your cheeks? When you could be a millionaire, why would you do all that when you can get paid from a whole bunch of suckers? That don't make sense. You could be living life. You could be on a yacht. You could get a whole bunch of money. Forget a marriage. You rich and all you got to do is post your feet or post your little stomach, and you get paid. And you ain't got to worry about stress. You ain't got to worry about having no children. Why wouldn't you do that when you got so many suckers that's born out here? So again, if the men have self-control and not pay for it, they don't have a job. So I'm still going to start with the dudes who's putting money behind set bad behavior. And that's what I'm saying. It's okay. I understand what you're saying. Talk about her putting her body on the internet. But I'm saying is, if there's a sucker, why wouldn't he be exploited?